shall show you revenge!
Alrighty, welcome. We're going to be covering Just Right. He is a well-trodden in this. That's mainly because he's an idiot. And we're going to talk about, and a hypocrite. We're going to talk about why. But first, allow me to welcome my esteemed and illustrious guests.
The question is, why?
Yeah. So to answer this quickly, is Just Right a moral villain? I'll save the question for the answer to that one after. But welcome aboard, Neph.
Good afternoon.
And we have one final guest.
The current Wolf Lord of the Space Wolves is Logan Grimnar, also known as the Old Wolf. He rules from the Hall of the Great Wolf, together with his Wolf Lords such as Herald Deathwolf, Eagle Ironwolf, and Bjorn Stormwolf.
All I got out of that was wolf, 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 and wolf.
The Space Wolves are incredibly uninspired.
The ever-irascible and forever eternal servant to Neph is here.
So, what was your opening from? Because that was really cool.
Also, how come you can write cuck in the chat and I can't?
I don't know.
Okay,
so that opening is from... So the answer to that one is The Desolation of Smaug, movie 2.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a fan of the books, but I'm most certainly a fan of the movies. So I might have to look that one up.
Okay, now
I also have some fun ones for when Just Right says something stupid.
Crow, what do you mean when you say you need to get me fixed?
Yes, Crow.
What do you mean? What does he mean by get me fixed?
He means neuter you.
Do that, and I'll do that, and I'll brunette, and I'll be having Crow for dinner.
Well,
yes,
eating
Crow. When he's
technically
everything he says is stupid.
Well,
also,
technically, well.
Also, okay, are you gonna talk or am I gonna talk?
Go for it.
Okay, nihilism. The anime is Rokuaka, I think it's called. It's spelled Rokukuaka. AKA. Okay, yeah, I'll spell it on the chat for you.
Yeah. Well, eating crow. Well, Wise Wolf, if you eat crow, you're going to be humiliated. So does that mean crow's just going to run circles around you?
I thought eating crow was a euphemism for something else.
No, eating crow is another way. Is
Or it's eating your
basically
pride.
humble pie.
No, I mean, actually, I will literally eat crow.
Hence, you'll eat humble pie because he'll dance his way around you because he can fly and you cannot.
Yes,
I have
exactly.
a crossbow.
I imagine he has magic, so you're screwed.
Yeah, he is a magician after all.
I have the faith of the Lord.
But he read a book once.
I read
So-
3 Witcher books and finished none of them.
So, the question remains, which should we start with? His Wonder Woman video where he talks about Bathos, or his Last Jedi review where he talks about how all of the characters are so amazing?
Yes.
Wonder Woman first. We need to prepare.
Yeah. And also, like, we can see, like, how, like, we'll just see, okay, these are your arguments. Watch as he never brings anything related to this stuff up in his Last Jedi review.
Yeah, and we can take him down with his own quotes.
Just like they did Patrick Willems shut up about plot holes before his film Criticism, where he shouted out Movie Bob as one of the only like legit critics on YouTube.
Yeah.
That immediately discredits you as a critic. By admitting that Diabeto is a critic.
Well, Just Right.
No.
I hate Just Right. I hate this guy.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
You're,
Well,
oh,
it's 10 minutes long. Great.
So, like, all I know about Just Right is that he had a debate with Mueller, and he got his ass kicked so badly that he had to like plead Mueller to not actually post the video.
Yeah.
That was YMS.
I thought he did that for Just Right as well.
He just had a
Oh
debate
no,
with Just Right.
Right. Just
Okay,
Right
Just
went
Right.
onto EFAP and he said some stuff and then he took it back in a tweet. Was Just Right.
Okay.
No, that was YMS.
no,
Yeah, bear
I-
with my assholeology is a little.
So so basically what happened was Just Right. What Just Right did was actually worse. Basically, Just Right had a like very disingenuous argument where he just would not address any of Mahler's arguments and just kind of wanted to focus on subjectivity versus objectivity. And his arguments are so freaking poor, it's absurd. And
No,
he
it's
just
not
kind of had
good.
to bow out.
I actually have a debate that you had with Wolf and Mahler.
Oh,
The
that's
Wolf.
I saw the original, but I can't find it anymore.
you can find an upload. You can find
Yeah,
the
there's a
uploads
Reddit.
all
There's a
over the
Reddit
place.
thread about this.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a Reddit thread of the. You should find a Drive document with
Yeah.
all of Wolf's videos in it. Well, all
There's
videos they
also-
found.
Also, the original debate is on Mueller.
Okay.
So, but just the debate, not the response to the video.
Also, Carl, I
Alrighty.
don't think it was the not so great debate. That was another person.
No, that was another guy who was much dumber, though much more humble than Just Right.
Right. He was the person that said the Disney fanatical universe.
Yeah, or that
Like
Luke was old, so and just kept yelling, "It's not stupid. It is stupid."
Mind you, what was the last time someone being old and hated a person in combat in Star Wars?
Alrighty. Well, let's get started off without further ado and talk about why Just Right. What Just Right thinks that people should learn from Wonder Woman.
Copy.
I hate this scene. And he capitalizes it. Okay. So.
Well,
there's
yeah.
buffering.
stop.
The two moments we just watched are almost exactly the same, aren't they?
Okay.
Except what movie they were in. Doctor Strange had all that stuff established in its own. In fact, so did a lot of the MCU, but the early Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies didn't. They largely took themselves pretty seriously to their detriment.
Yeah. I think that what we're about to see kind of like what Just Right is not taking into account. Well, let's keep watching, but like he is not going to take a lot of things into account in this analysis.
They take place at roughly the same time in their respective movies and are about the same thing. The main character stops struggling with their dueling identities and embraces their heroic side. So why did I love one and hate the other? Well, because one is honest and emotional, while the other undercuts its own dramatic purpose with a joke. This is what's called bathos. First coined by Alexander Pope back in 1727 in an essay called Peribathos, or the Art of Thinking in Poetry. It describes
Okay,
moments in
at
poems
least he
when
defined
singers
what bathos is properly.
Instead of doing the Bellin route and just saying bathos, but not saying what it means. Before forcing us to refer to a dictionary to figure it out.
Also, Just Right is being very disingenuous at this point because in the same, just 5 minutes earlier, we had the death of the Ancient One, the mentor character, that was not played at all for laughs, and Stephen Strange is crying, or has moisture on his face. That's why the cape is wiping his face.
That, and it's the most loyal cape in existence.
And the cape is a smart ass throughout the movie, so it wasn't really like a huge lurch. You could see it happening.
Yeah, remember that scene where he tried running, but the cape kept pulling him back because it was trying to direct him to the better option.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like, that was funny, but at the same time also made sense. Like, no,
Yes. So we're seeing Just Right kind of obfuscate information here, because it's basically his personal bias. Like, it should have been more dramatic. It's like, dude, why? You just do you want homogeneity? Also, why don't you hate the moment where Luke throws the lightsaber over his shoulder? Because that's the same thing, but worse.
Yes, it is. It's much, much worse.
It's Luke throwing away his legacy.
Yeah, it's him throwing away something that was extremely important to him. And something he was still looking for. Years later.
That could also be the case, Nihilus. That is definitely the case, but it's basically like, it's both of them are functionally the same. It's a moment slightly undercut by a joke, only The Last Jedi is infinitely worse. Let's keep going. And he's not really going to even talk about Wonder Woman for most of this video. It's only going to be the last 2 minutes. Mostly he's just going to be Marvel bashing for really no reason. It's just, Marvel humor sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't work, but he's blowing it up to weird proportions in this, and yet he doesn't mind The Last Jedi littered with way more bathos than all of the pretty much all of the Marvel movies combined, since Marvel movies kind of keep their bathos to like 4 or 5 scenes per movie. Last Jedi, it's every single scene.
Except for Guardians, which are pretty much comedy, especially the first one.
Yeah, they're comedy things, and that's fine. You don't need to have...
It's fine in a comedy movie, but Star Wars is not a comedy.
Also,
at least not on purpose.
And also, Winter Soldier
are hilarious for on purpose, but because they're memeable.
And also, there's the element of the Winter Soldier is not a joke movie. There are very few jokes in that movie, and that's why it's one of the better Marvel movies. Like, it actually takes the drama seriously and reserves humor for more like just witty dialogue between the characters. Like,
And
just
yeah, and Star Wars is the same way. It's all witty dialogue, which breaks up the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Bathos has no place in Star Wars.
I can always feel my anger.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I feel the same way, except for all the Disney Star Wars movies. I can't stand any of them.
Flows through you.
Yep. Let's keep going.
Which is between serious to trivial for comedic effect.
Now I'm standing. Y'all happy? We're all standing up.
It was never serious to begin
Bunch of
with.
jackass.
The juxtaposition of the two moments creates a laugh, but it destroys whatever drama the piece was going.
No, it doesn't.
If you take a look at the most popular movies produced by Hollywood today, particularly with the Marvel movies, I think you'll find that we have become a culture adrift in bathos. Now, like any literary device, there are...
No!
I kind of get what he's going for. He's basically saying, but he's not getting the context that we're basically coming out of the Dark Knight era where everything was dark and brooding. And we got sick of it. And the dark and brooding.
We are
after Batman and Robin from Schumacher made Batman into a joke. So it's cyclical.
Also, we had Spawn and Steel. Both of those movies were really frickin' bad. Like,
I watched some bits of Spawn.
Like, in terms of blockbuster... Oh yeah, the Daredevil and Elektra movies were terrible.
Arguably Ghost Rider 2. There's only so much Nick Cage can save.
There is no arguably about it. Both Ghost Rider movies are terrible.
Okay, I thought it was more arguable than it was. Yeah, I agree.
No,
those
it's
films
like...
are guilty pleasures for me. I like them.
I think, well, the first one's kind of dull because Nick Cage doesn't get to freak out. The second one's more fun because it goes balls to the wall crazy, but it's still dumb.
Wait, we talking about let Nick Cage do Nick Cage?
Yeah. Like, he's scraping at the door! Scraping at the door!
Your movie's 10 times better if Nicolas Cage can be allowed to be himself.
Yeah, and I'd actually say that Marvel actually balances humor and drama relatively well, all things considered. Like, Black Panther, not very jokey. That's not the biggest problem with that movie. The biggest problem is that the plot doesn't make sense and the main character is kind of reduced to a cardboard cutout.
It tries to be jokey. I made it rain. What
indeed?
Or I think that the only like
hair,
legit,
apparently.
or I think that one thing that like actually makes me like legit laugh still is when he kicks the thing and yells, "Delete that footage." His sister's filming him and he says, "Delete that footage."
And she's like, "No, this is prime blackmail material."
Yes, Shuri's pretty cool. Like, the fact that she is the head scientist, even though, like, she's, like, what, 16 or 17? I'm like, I have trouble buying this. Like, maybe you're a super genius, but isn't there some kind of supervisor?
Yeah.
Where's the staff? But, like, where's even the staff? I barely see anybody else who's working on things.
More to the point, T'Challa always built his own stuff before Shuri was invented.
Yeah.
No, not just that. Everything was built by Shuri, apparently.
Yeah. And then she outshines Bruce Banner and Tony Stark.
Oh.
And in other media adaptations,
Sounds like a Mary Sue character to me.
Oh, gee, what tipped you off?
Yeah.
No,
like
she's resolutely racist and never called out for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Where it's just like, that's rough. Like, that's hard to come back from. Like, I'm sorry.
A correct correct ways to use bathos, and one of them is parody. It's used constantly in movies like Deadpool and the Lego Batman to great effect, because there is an expectation in those films that they are going to cut down the known tropes of superhero movies. But now we have allegedly serious versions of the genre that are actually secretly parodies. That moment in Doctor Strange is a parody of the moment in Spider-Man.
I mean, it's like, what? What? I mean, you can't be a parody if you're using the name.
Do you want things to be the Dark Knight? But no, you like The Last Jedi, which
it's constant pathos. There's no drama whatsoever, which means there's no tension.
It's basically Spaceballs played straight.
Ugh.
At least could this guy bother to state where he's coming from and what he wants from a movie?
Also,
because if this is all what it comes down to, it's what he wants and that he's not getting.
Also,
there is no objective one is better, one is not, because, like I said, it's cyclical.
Also, we have the issue of Doctor Strange is not like that jokey. Like, that joke is right at, you need something to pick you up, like, just in terms of pacing. If people had just just unrelenting dourness or unrelenting seriousness, or it took every single moment seriously, then you would be complaining, we take ourselves too seriously. Or it would just kind of be unrelenting. It would just kind of get boring after a while. It's much better when kind of like the dramatic moments are interspersed with something to kill the mood.
Quick question. What's the date difference between these two videos?
Okay, let me check. I believe
because if they're posted like 10 years apart, then yeah, there's some justification there. But
oh no, these are not 10 years apart. They're like
Wonder Woman
2.
came out like 1 year.
Oh wait, no, few months.
Oh. Big oof. Yeah, big oof.
Yeah, like, wow, you shifted your opinion around in a matter of months. Great.
It's because he was told to hate something and told to like something. So basically, he just had to then find reasons after the fact to justify his hatred and liking of things.
Which is
That's
weird. Because
really what I think this comes down to.
Which is weird
Nothing
because
else makes sense.
Which is weird because he considers Rise of Skywalker to be the most frustrating J. Abrams movie, and he hates it.
Well, I'm with him on hating it, but not for the reason he does.
Oh, he hates it. One, Rose is sidelined, and he comes up with this whole contrived BS subplot that they could have inserted into the movie, where Rose goes around trying to get people to come on board.
No, that was Lando's thing. I would have preferred to watch Lando.
Oh yeah, he's thinking like her and Lando, but he wanted some point. He also wanted Finn and Poe to be gay just to give them something to do.
Really?
To give them someone to do.
Finn has the hots for Rey. That's the thing.
You can take that as you will.
Yeah, that's the trope that Joshua David Belland accuses King Kong of. Oh, hello. We have a friend here.
Chat or backstage?
Backstage.
I'm calling it.
Ooh. Hello, Crow.
Well, look who's got their beacon here. Any second now.
You're just within an eating distance as well.
Something's not right here.
What a bunch of build-up for nothing. Wait, oh crap. Wait, Dunn, are you alright? Dunn?
Done.
Done.
Oh, there
Hi.
you are.
Hi there.
Hello, Crow.
Hello.
And you're within
Hello.
eating distance as well.
No, I didn't get killed.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, I just tried to because it's not a direct copy.
Just a
Yeah,
minute.
that's true.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
true.
Last Jedi was a mashup, and not even a good mashup of
Mashup's too
Empire.
positive a word. Mashup is too
Yeah.
positive a word. I was thinking
It's a stumping
bastardized
up.
bastardized Frankenstein's
it's a
monster
bastardized
of
Frankenstein monster of Empire and Jedi. So there was nothing for JJ to copy and paste.
The funny thing is, he didn't even try. I noticed this the other day in the Ray is Not a Mary Sue video that Smugcast was looking at, and I realized just then Ray had a pistol in 7, never used it in 8, and then started using it again in 9.
It's like
she did use it in 8 actually.
She did use her pistol in 8? When?
To shoot the wall.
What?
Yep,
In
she
the
does
first-
pull it out when she's having
in
the
the
vision
first-
of Kylo.
Yeah, the first time she has a vision of Kylo, she shoots it.
Oh, the time she was having forced sex with Kylo. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, the first time.
I'm gonna purge that memory from my mind now.
I absolutely hate Force Skype.
Yeah, it's a
Everybody
ridiculous
does.
idea.
Would you
Well,
want to?
well, School of Movies loves it. They think it's great and
School of
creative.
Movies
No,
are
it's
people.
not. That's not what a force bond between people is.
Stop trying to make Neph upset, Dunn.
Well, I'm saying that
We
like,
were already
Oh
looking at
yeah,
something
you and I
stupid.
are covering that video
Oh yeah,
too,
we're
aren't
covering
we?
that Ray is Not a Mary Sue video on my stream Saturday. Have fun with that, Neph.
Oh boy.
It's 2 hours long.
Yeah, I'm
220
watching. I'm
It's
almost
the length of
finished
The Last
watching.
Jedi.
I'm going in blind. It's gonna be great.
Hey, you're gonna come out deaf.
yeah, Cutie Neff is going to be really mad.
Oh boy.
Alrighty, let's keep going.
Whether it meant to be or not. The same way this is later parodied by this.
Look out!
What moments like these signal to me
It's
is that
the
the creators
superhero
don't have
shot.
confidence in their own
It's
story.
the-
They're using the joke to distract from the film's dramatic shortcomings. The dramatic question at the heart of most
Good
superhero
God.
stories is, who is this
Superheroes
character? Are they
can
selfish
be
or altruistic?
dramatic.
Will
They could be goofy. Superheroes are goofy.
They can.
They're
they
inherently
are, yes, but
goofy.
they can also be serious.
Yeah.
It's not one or the other. It's not mutually exclusive.
Plus, these movies all being in continuity with each other allows them a little more directorial freedom in how they're doing things, because you had the Avengers doing the hero shot, the ensemble hero shot, and playing it straight the first time. That means that everybody else who tries it can put their own spin on it.
Yes.
Actually, that's my favorite scene from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The part where Mantis just gets obliterated by a falling rock. It's hilarious.
Oh, what's hilarious?
The part where Mantis gets hit by a falling rock, then Drax is like, Mantis, look out!
Yeah, because Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is a hilarious comedy.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy is supposed to be the team that's basically falling apart at the seams. They're not supposed to be the great big hot shots. They're kind of losers.
That's the Avengers.
Yeah, the Avengers are the cool ones. The Guardians of the Galaxy are kind of Kind of
They're the
lame.
losers. They're the losers.
All Marvel films are sort of falling apart at the seams. DC is what heroes look like when they're functional and have actual proper protocols that they follow. Marvel is about what happens if the heroes are us.
Yep. Let's keep going, shall we?
Creators don't have confidence in their own story. They're using the joke to distract from the film's dramatic shortcomings. The dramatic question at the heart of most superhero stories is, who is this character? Are they self?
Yeah. They're trying to distract with humor from the shortcomings. How does this not apply to The Last Jedi?
It
How?
does. It does.
Oh, it's because the narrative.
There's 3 movies in, we still don't know a damn thing about Rey.
Yeah.
You see, in order to keep Just Right's context in whatever industry he works in, he has to say Last Jedi is good. That's literally what this whole thing does.
I can't wait for another 5 years when people are allowed to hate it.
Oh, it's gonna be it's been a sacred cow for 3 years now.
Oh, it's already at that point because John Boyega came out and said it was racist. So now they have to side with him.
Thank you.
Yeah, but they'll side for
Thank
stupid
you,
reasons.
Boyega.
Thank you, John Boyega.
It's like, even surprising to me, overly sarcastic productions took some shots at TLJ, and they sucked that entire trilogy's dick.
No kidding.
It's like as soon as he was done with those Star Wars films, he just started dunking on them.
Overtly sarcastic productions is one of those channels where it's like, how can you get so much right yet be so wrong at the same time?
Yeah,
well,
it's frustrating.
Well, let's do their jobs better than they do. Let's keep going.
Yep.
Selfish or altruistic? Will they accept the enormous responsibilities that their enormous power has given them? This moment is the answer to that question. It's supposed to energize the audience, propelling them into the final action of the climax. If you're telling
Not
an
every
honest
hero
story,
is Spider-Man.
then at no other point in the movie should a filmmaker feel more confident that the audience is invested in the drama. Now, you can argue that these jokes are funny, but that's not really what I'm disputing.
No,
The
they
point is
have
that
to
there
work
is a
for every
dramatic
single
cost.
second of our attention. They have to work for it, and if we're not invested in the first couple of minutes, you failed.
You
Sorry.
You got at best a minute to capture an audience's attention.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get the first page of the book.
There's also the problem of Doctor Strange is not Spider-Man.
Oh, he's not.
And the best way to put it is, you've got to start with a bang.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a quick bang. It's just got to be a hook of some kind.
I'm not hooked. Your movie sucks.
And Doctor Strange does that very well with the initial Ancient One fight, I believe.
Yeah.
And
TLJ is the first Star Wars movie to ever put my dad to sleep. So.
Yeah. This, and then you have this where Doctor Strange is not a joke fest. There are subtle jokes. Like, even that moment is not a bad joke. It's actually rather subtle. And also, there are other moments where he actually does seriously do things. Like when he reverses time, or when he goes up to Dormammu. That's not that could have been easily played for slapstick, where he is getting killed over and over and over again. But they don't play it like that.
I'll admit I actually laughed during that entire sequence.
Okay, that's because you're Wolf.
Yeah, you're a psychopath.
That's because humor is subjective.
Okay, what is this about me being a psychopath? What have I done to you, honestly?
What
happened?
happened?
Hi, Dead Slash.
Is he trying to say all superheroes must be the same, have the same
Tone?
Well, that's certainly
Kind of,
what
yes.
it sounds like.
Pretty much.
All right.
No fun allowed. No bright colors. All dark.
And at no point has he mentioned Wonder Woman. And at no point has he mentioned Wonder Woman, the title of the video, in the last 3.5 minutes.
We're a third of the way through this movie, and he hasn't even brought up Wonder Woman.
Nope.
Nope.
He doesn't do it until like the last 2 minutes.
Clickbait.
Oh my god, yeah.
cost that has to be paid whenever bathos is used at the wrong time. And these aren't just singular moments, but a pervasive tonal choice. Dramatic kneecapping happens constantly. Ant-Man can't even say his own name without giggling. It sort of works better in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Because Ant-Man is inherently stupid.
It is
You mean like nonsensical stupid, or?
Well, it's just like, it is a silly name. It's Ant-Man. It's basically weaponized Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, basically.
Also, Ant-Man is a comedy. Ant-Man's a comedy.
But there's other stuff that's not. The 3 Iron Man movies are not comedies.
Those are very serious dramas.
Yeah, those are very serious movies. But they also have their jokes, and there are moments when I can't stop laughing.
Iron Man 3 is a comedy. It's very much a Shane Black movie. Yeah. There are like some dramatic moments, but it's mostly a comedy.
Yeah,
like,
by that point, Josh,
Whedon?
Yeah, I would argue and say that there is too much comedy in the MCU, especially as it got further and further along.
Yeah.
That's not the same argument he's making here. He's saying that it can't be. And it's like, no, it can be. There can be funny moments.
See, look, Dallas Nihilism agrees with me on this.
Dies multiple times. Yeah, it is kind of funny, but it's also like not framed as being funny. It can be, but it's not deliberately framed as funny.
Okay, quick question.
That is
We
true.
don't talk about the second Iron Man. We don't talk about anything but the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second 2 Iron Man movies are not that good.
Okay,
They're better than Spider-Man 3, but that's because Spider-Man 3 is a mess, and at least the Iron Man movies have like some measure of a streamlined structure.
Yeah.
Because those are, actually comedies. But then there's the airport scene in Civil War, which should be one of the most dramatic scenes in the film, but instead its tone is haphazard. Tony starts the scene quipping constantly.
Wow, it's so weird how you run into people at the airport. Don't you think that's weird? Definitely weird.
Tony Stark.
We should have consistent characterization.
And that
Come
kind
on.
of is.
He's sarcastic.
Because he was really harsh about it.
Also,
Because at that
the
point,
drama.
yeah.
Also, the drama is reserved for when the reveal about Tony's parents comes to the fore. If this was if this fight is basically friends and family, it's meant to be kind of fun. Like they're not actually trying to kill each other.
Yeah, it's meant to be a spar between best friends who are testing themselves, not a fight to
It's a spectacle.
Yeah. And also, it's like it is 2 people with the opposing views who don't necessarily want to kill each other, but are going to kick the other's butt. They're not going to kill them. The time when it comes
Black
to
Panther's
kill,
definitely trying to kill them.
Okay, but that's because he's Black Panther. Black Panther has no morals in the first one other than revenge. Yeah. But and even in his other movie, he kills people all the time. Yeah. Interesting point.
I've never seen Spider-Man 3, so
Unironically better as a mess. Well, it's more entertaining sometimes.
Better than which ones? Thor: The Dark World?
Yeah, I kind of actually would rather watch Spider-Man 3 than Thor: The Dark World, because Thor: The Dark World is dull and uninteresting.
I don't remember that I saw Thor: The Dark World.
I saw that one. I had
did.
no trouble understanding it because I love history and mythology, so I already knew who everyone was.
Well, it's
and then again, it helped that I watched the first Avengers movie and knew who Jane Foster was.
Yeah. I think just at least we have Peter Parker, we have emo Peter strutting down the street. And just
it was memorably stupid. A lot of things from the Raimi trilogy, honestly.
I would
rather Goblin costume.
Yeah, the Green Goblin costume is really funny. It's Power Ranger bad guy levels of bad.
Never
so
seen
just easy enough to beat. Fun to watch.
Oh, better than this. I actually would not agree with that.
I mean, second Avengers movie's bad.
Which one was the second Avengers movie?
Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
I don't think I watched that.
I have problems with that film.
It depends on what you're willing to put up with more.
I
suppose.
I think that Spider-Man 3 suffers from the problem that there are way too many villains, and the Age of Ultron suffers from being slightly overstuffed with plot points. But the problem with at least like there's a beginning, middle, and end with Age of Ultron. There's like 2 third acts in Spider-Man 3.
I have a
yeah.
Yeah, Sandman and Venom, I guess.
Yeah, it ends in the middle and then it ends at the end again.
I have a problem with how Ultron's characterized in that film.
Yeah, Spider-Man. I hated that.
I am reasonably okay with it. I don't mind it. I think that they tried to give him some complexity. Some of it's like ultimately kind of shortchanged by the fact of James Spader's humor, which works really well in Blacklist, but not necessarily that well in Age of Ultron. But that's just my...
It was shortchanged by the fact that Ant-Man didn't exist at that point. And Ant-Man was supposed to be the one that Ultron had his brain based off of. And Ant-Man, that is to say Hank Pym, is kind of a psychopath. Whereas Tony is a quipster. So that's why Ultron is a quipster. Not saying it isn't stupid and off, but that's what it was.
No, I don't think they said... No, his AI is based... No, I think it was based off the Mind Stone.
There were a lot of ingredients there. The Mind Stone,
Yeah,
Jarvis.
The last thing I heard was Jarvis, Bruce, Tony, and the Mind Stone. So
it's like
it's a confusing.
I don't like Ultron at all.
It's confusing. Yeah,
it could have just been a robot.
It's basically just.
But then I have to repeat the say. It's like, Tony, you really need to learn to not make this mistake again. Like, you already learned.
It's basically just it's basically just James Spader playing a robot, and that's kind of how Joss Whedon asked him to play it. Was just a lot of people, I think like Skull and Movies actually like that. They were like initially from the trailer, he looked like Megatron, and I'm like, depends on which Megatron. If it's Transformers Prime Megatron, I am down because Transformers Prime Megatron is the best Megatron.
Beast Wars.
I know nothing about Transformers.
Oh, I have not watched.
T-Rex Megatron is my favorite of the lot.
Is he voiced by Frank Welker, and does he actually win?
He basically wins at 2 of 3 season finales. Show him on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the same way.
Plus, he has way better lines. It's like
the
ultimate risk for the ultimate prize. A day of reckoning with those who would make us slaves.
Well, I think that, personally, I think that, when he says to Starscream, he actually tells Starscream to get the heck out. And he just says, despite your treachery, I must admit to taking a certain delight in watching your string of failures. But now you become tiresome. And also his design is freaking awesome in Transformers Prime. We'll do a comparison. So we'll have to do a comparison at the end of this. But
that'd be a fun video for another time.
Yeah.
But we have a video that we're already looking at.
Yeah.
Become super serious.
You've been busy, and you've been a complete idiot.
Yeah?
Dragging in Clint, rescuing Wanda from a place she doesn't even want to leave, a safe place. I'm trying to keep you from tearing the Avengers apart.
Then is back to humor, even while he's literally fighting his best friends to the maybe death.
Not maybe death.
It's not maybe death. It's obviously not maybe death.
The fight to the death is reserved for later.
Yeah. The first fight is, I don't agree with you, and I'm gonna knock your teeth in until we can see eye to eye again.
this is just a spot. This is just a high stakes sparring match in the middle of an airport. And the stakes, they aren't okay. If this fight was more dramatic, it would lessen the impact of the fight in the Russian bunker.
Yeah.
It would lessen that fight. Also, it would make less sense.
And it would lessen the impact of how this fight ends, if anybody remembers that point.
Yeah.
Yes, that point is not treated as a joke. That point is very serious.
Rhodey almost died.
Well, this is Civil War, right? I never watched Civil War.
But Civil War's awesome. Civil War's great.
Okay, basically, the quick primer. At the end of the fight, Vision tries to shoot down Tony, and instead shoots down War Machine. Everybody tries to rush down and catch him, and he hits the ground first.
Yikes.
Tony and Falco try to catch him.
He was paralyzed for several movies.
Yeah.
So there are consequences, and like the end of the movie, like does end with a kind of a joke, but Rhodey is trying to walk. Yeah, Tony stank, and Rhodey takes advantage to poke his friend and says, "Yeah, that's Tony Stank."
Oh my god, that works so well.
But yeah, even though like he's like struggling to walk and like he's just walking on one of those like supports, he's still like Rhodey and he's taking the piss out of his friend, which is hilarious.
Yep.
Well, we're making relatively good time. It's 46 minutes, 46 minutes to cover 4 minutes. That's not bad. And a lot of this is
No, but I doubt we're gonna be able to cover all of the next one.
Yeah, probably.
You locked me in my room.
Okay, first, that's an exaggeration.
Only for the scene to end on a suddenly dark note.
It's not suddenly dark, you idiot.
At the end of this first fight, it's what?
An ad. It's an ad.
Oh, great.
Oh, now we paid this guy's ad revenue. Fantastic.
Fantastic. You really do need.
The audience might laugh at every one of the jokes along the way, but the scene is dramatically nonsensical.
No.
So
wait. Did they
pathetic punk?
Hang on. Did he jump from the first fight in the film to the end of the second fight?
No. That is the end of the mid fight of the film.
Also, there were a bunch of different little fights in those films, and each one had sort of its own tone as characters bounce from one combat to another. So, like, the tone of Falcon versus Falcon and... was Falcon and Bucky? No, it wasn't Falcon and Bucky yet. It was Falcon somebody else versus Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man versus Cap.
Yeah, it was Falcon, Bucky versus Spider-Man. Where Spider-Man takes a punch from Bucky, catches it, and he's like, "Dude, you have a robot arm! Oh, that's so cool!" Because
you've never been in a fight before, have you? There's not that much talking in it.
I love Peter. He's such a geek.
Tom Holland,
and he's unapologetic about it.
He has a Lego Death Star that he made on his own.
Oh no, him and his buddy.
That's how awesome he is.
Tom Holland did a fantastic job as being Peter.
And he's got a really posh British accent. Like, he has a really posh British accent naturally.
Yeah,
He
IRL.
just made his voice American. And he just makes it American. It's very impressive.
Yeah, it is.
I hear it's actually pretty easy for those with British accents to do American ones.
Yeah.
But it's not easy for us to do it the other way. No.
Well, at least not to make it not completely cartoony.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gone for a bit. What did I miss?
Not much, really.
No, not much.
It's just right saying that the scene in the airport is dramatically nonsensical, like in terms of its tone.
Also, it's just right then.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Just right. And yet, the throne room fight, and Snoke dying, and the and everything to do with Luke is not dramatically nonsensical.
How the hell did you come up with that? God damn it. You're not just right, you're just wrong.
No, he's a hypocrite because he goes right back on his opinions 6 months later. Goes back on it from June to December.
He's just wrong.
He doesn't remember what he writes. He just prattles down a bunch of stuff on a script that sounds smart.
He also spews word diarrhea.
Let's at least get a little bit further in this. Maybe we'll actually figure out what the hell any of this has to do with Wonder Woman.
Okay, so this is Joss Whedon, the writer-director of the 2 Avengers movies and the script doctor of many of the early Marvel films. He's probably one of the 2 men most responsible for the general tone of the Marvel franchise, and one of his most famous quotes is, "Make it dark, make it grim, make it tough, but then for the love of God, tell a joke."
You ever tried shawarma?
Whedon is advocating for a certain kind of battle, but like all advice on...
That's at the end of the film. Like,
after a huge battle.
Make it grim, make a joke. Make it dark, make a joke. Make it... What was the third one?
Make it gritty?
Yeah. It wasn't make a joke in between those things.
It's a tension breaker.
Finish the scene and then lighten the mood.
Tension breaker. The audience can't be tense the entire time. It's no fun.
Also, not even Joss to do this right all the time. Thank you, by the way, Mr. Whedon, for killing the lasso of truth joke. Thank you very friggin' much.
Wait, what did he do?
He basically, Justice League. He basically did the same damn lasso of truth joke that everybody freaking does. And it's a point where I realized that I was sick and freaking tired of it.
I think that Joss Whedon was handed a mess and had to do his best with the crap that he was given, including making the worst supervillain of all time, worst movie villain of all time.
Oh, great, yes, Steppenwolf, because DC needed its own equivalent of Malekith. Fantastic.
Yeah, at least in this...
Don't insult Malekith by comparing Steppenwolf to him.
DC is not Marvel. They shouldn't have equivalents. They should have their own stuff.
Also, we have... Well, it's not... It's mostly just Malekith is a bad villain. Like, he's mostly has the worst Marvel villain because he's boring and doesn't have any personality.
Then why would you even want a DC version of him?
He looked cool.
Basically, Steppenwolf... Basically, like... At least in, like, the what is it?
The comics?
No, not the comics. The Snyder... What seems like the Snyder cut. He looks like he's made of living metal. He looks like a Terminator. He looks awesome. Like, he looks... Like, he looks like living metal. He looks awesome. Whereas, in the movie, he just looks giant, weird, orc-human hybrid thing with a giant, stupid axe. It just looks ridiculous.
No! We had Terminator 2, which had the liquid Terminator already. They should have had no problem making him the way he actually looked.
And thing is, they were originally like... It looked originally like that. And, like, apparently they're adding Darkseid to the movie, which is like, wow, that's kind of early and kind of makes you think...
No, don't do that. I mean, I'm not a fan of comic books in general, but
Darkseid is way too early. Darkseid's way too overpowered.
Yeah, Darkseid is what Thanos has nightmares about.
We're getting way off.
No man, except
let's keep going. Let's keep going.
on writing, the merit of this line is situational. When running away from an overly serious tone, you can definitely go too far and end up in self-parody, because you actually have to make things gritty or dark or at least tough for this quote to help you. Otherwise, you're just replacing the drama with jokes, and in the process, you make the story toothless and meaningless. While Joss Whedon himself doesn't mistake comedy for a character, it's since his departure from the franchise and in their attempts to mimic his brand of quippy dialogue that Marvel's storytelling philosophy has become all jokes, all the time, no matter the cost. It's a pretty cynical approach, in my opinion.
No,
the idea
it's
is
not.
that you can string together enough jokes
The
to keep
Last
the audience
Jedi,
vaguely entertained.
idiot.
Yeah. Let's kind of count off.
Jedi.
Yeah, that movie is all jokes all the time.
Ugh.
And it's like, even people who like it say that it's subversive meta comedy. That's the genre that The Last Jedi falls into. It's not a Star Wars movie. It's just a parody.
It's not even a proper parody. Because you're not supposed to use the franchise to parody itself. You're supposed to make something different and parody Star Wars with that.
I hate Just Right so much. His bar of quality is consistently in flux, and his goalposts are forever moving.
It's all about subjectivity. Let him teach us about objectivity.
But it's not a recipe for lasting storytelling. There are ways to mix comedy and drama without sacrificing one for the other.
Equanimity. The quality of being calm, even tempered. You accept her betrayal with equanimity.
Jack, I'm your dad.
What the hell? No.
But there is another element at play here. The fact that these jokes happen.
That was a joke?
Really?
Yeah.
Was that a joke?
Yeah.
That's not a joke.
That's just.
It looked like a botched edit.
It's a humorous juxtaposition.
Not when it's out of context like that, because I had no idea what that even was.
I don't know either. Let's keep going.
Happen during scenes that would otherwise be emotional makes me feel like these movies are actually afraid of emotions because they're afraid that they will be the butt of the joke, that they'll be seen as cheesy. And now is when I finally get to talk about Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman made me feel,
oh my god,
like actual emotions, and that's no accident. It's by design. In an interview,
I hate you.
I
hate you.
I think
it objectively made him feel.
I subjectively feel objectively that this subjective opinion is objectively fact.
You feeling something is not indicative of cynicism. You are just
quality.
Or quality. You're just not engaging with the material.
Why do you watch movies if you're bored?
Not even that he's bored, he's just taken out of it by humor. And apparently, like, the train that... Also, you're very much leaving out the fight in the bunker. There are no jokes in the bunker fight. Right. Just right. The bunker fight is very dramatic. It is Tony trying to kill Bucky. Like, he is saying
there's that scene where Baron Zemo almost kills himself and Panther stops him.
Yes. How is that not dramatic? You are picking a terrible example. Oh, sorry, Drake, I cut you off. What?
Or excellent character development for Black Panther. Better character development than his own damn movie.
That implies that he got any development in this movie.
So he had development?
Yeah.
It's not kind of there.
With the New York Times, Patty Jenkins, the director of the film, said, "Cheesy is one of the words banned in my world. I'm tired of sincerity being something we have to be afraid to do. It's been 20 years in entertainment
No, why? Why? Why do you feel that way about? Oh my God, no! Don't use the New York Times for these things.
If you had an opinion, it's immediately been disregarded.
Also, like, cheesy. Marvel movies are not that cheesy. Doctor
And
Strange
cheesy is not bad in the first place, so...
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to say that we love the cheese, but yeah, we'll keep going. But, like, I think that you can go too cheesy, where it's just like, oh, this is just cringeworthy and awful. Like, The Last Jedi is cheesy. Like, it has no dramatic weight because Rian Johnson doesn't really know how to do drama, but he also doesn't know how to do good comedy.
No, he doesn't. My
Does not
God.
do good anything.
Okay.
We knew that within the first 5 minutes because it was a Yo Mama. No.
Yeah. Alrighty.
No.
We need to watch. Alright, let's watch Knives Out next at some point. Just to kind of see, okay, what are we going to do with this guy?
With that Kentucky Fried bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
Good news! It's on that site I gave you all.
Oh my! Wait a minute! Oh, I thought somebody died.
No. Just 1 second. Just 1 sec. Just 1 second. I need to. Yeah, just right. To you, I say.
Shut up with that Kentucky Fried Foghorn Leghorn draw.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Double Rian Johnson uses Rian Johnson clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Just right. Just right.
Just right.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah.
But he didn't miss. He really didn't.
Quiet. You'll have to play that again, Emma.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Yes.
Yep.
Something is cheesy if the writer attempts to be funny, fails, and is unironically funny as an unintended result.
Ironically.
Oh wait,
The Room.
Ironically. Yeah.
The Room. The Room is a great example of this, where it tries to be so sincere, but the problem is
it's so poorly done in every aspect that it just became funny.
Hello, doggy.
Yeah, or like, or I did not hit her. It's bullcrap. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Not one word in that whole sentence was said right, and it took him 50 takes to say it. And he kept forgetting the line over and over and over and over again.
I would be pissed if I was one of those co-stars.
Oh, they were. It was to the point where the crew was yelling, "It's not true. It's bullcrap. I did not hit her. I did not."
But that is such an easy line.
Because Tommy Wiseau is not a good actor, and it's weirdly weird. He wrote the dang line himself.
That makes it even worse. Oh my God, that makes it even worse.
He is an absolute legend. I don't know what is up with Tommy Wiseau, but he's an endless amount of money. He has to come from some ridiculously long line, rich clan of some sort.
He's like David Benioff without any like claims to credibility.
His path to stardom was that he just randomly showed up to red carpet events. He literally comes from nowhere. Nobody knows where he came from.
And technically, he claims that he made his money making like renting out buildings, but it's just like You don't have a really nice apartment in two of the biggest cities in the world, just renting out warehouses.
He has to be into something illegal. It's the only explanation is that he's got like some sort of mob connection of some sort.
I would say drugs would explain a lot.
Or he's money laundering. Somebody's money laundering through him in order to get rid of money.
I'm almost convinced that the fact that he's so weird and bizarre and kind of dumb is just a front.
Yeah, something we should do as just a fun thing. We should watch his interview with talking about the disaster artist scene. That is a trip.
Okay.
I want to see Big Shark when it comes out.
I do too.
I do too. It's probably gonna be so bad.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because I know
away from real sincerity because they feel they have to wink at the audience because that's what the kids like.
Okay.
What? No.
I don't believe this. I think that this is BS.
Yeah, I'm calling it.
What's that smell?
Call the other one.
When was this said?
New York Times.
But when?
Oh.
There may have been a historical time, though I'm not sure 20 years was quite the length of it, where this may have had a point. I don't think 20 years is accurate, but there may have been a point in time where this might have been something people agreed with because of the cyclical nature of these tropes.
Let me take a look. Patty Jenkins, New York Times, cheesy. And just kind of look that up, see if there's see what and that came out.
Jenkins, cheesy. All right then. Looking at it right now. 23rd? What? Oh, 2017. June 2nd of 2017.
That was 3 years ago.
So it was basically hot off the presses when this guy wrote this?
Pretty much, yeah.
And there's also another one. It's all the way back in this is a Reddit discussion that started all the way back in September 21st of 2013.
On top of that, people aren't afraid of being cheesy because they're afraid of being non-serious. They're afraid of being cheesy because they're afraid of being Batman and Robin.
What the heck? I'm confused. Yeah. This thing, hold on. What the F? Huh. Okay, so that was a freaking lie. This all was back in 2017. It's just this one's a very weird one because if I were to show you what's on my screen, it would say that this date of the Reddit discussion was September 21st, 2013.
What?
Here, let me show you. So you're going to be sharing your screen. Okay, this is what it says. Right. This is, you see?
Yeah.
Right. Look right here. And then when I open the thread,
the hell?
And then when I open a thread, this is what it will say.
Yeah, well, that's just the Reddit post was made 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was originally in 2013?
No, that's what strangely says. That's September 21st, 2013. That's very strange since it says that the Reddit thread was taking place 3 years ago. So why does it say 2013?
It's probably relative to DC Studios.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. But it's like, the Dark Knight is pretty dang sincere. Nihilist Nyland did a very amusing meme. Done hating just right. Me watching be like, yes, yes, let the hate flow through you.
I wouldn't know if I would call Dark Knight sincere. It's on a different axis. That sincere is the wrong word.
It's dramatic.
Thank you.
And it's kind of self-serious in some respects, but that's just what you got. Let's keep going.
I think Patty Jenkins is right. We're in an oversaturated media environment, and yet we're starved for stories that really connect emotionally. Whatever flaws you want to ascribe to Wonder Woman, a lack of sincerity cannot be one of them. Wonder Woman...
I don't... So sincerity is the problem with all these movies, not the fact that they're blatant and irritating cash grabs.
Yeah, like Kong Skull Island is not that good. Pirates of the Caribbean has become not so good.
We are desperate
It was
need
good
of a renaissance.
Yes. Yes. And we're going to cover Confused Matthew. Speaking of renaissances, we're going to cover Confused Matthew's awful... Which one should we do? His re-review or his review or his re-review of Lion
I think we should do both.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Oh boy.
That's an hour and a half of content we're looking at right there.
Why not just watch The Lion King?
Because he probably gets struck.
Is a genuinely inspiring character who actually stands for something. She stands for truth, honor, courage, and self-sacrifice. And that is demonstrated dramatically.
And Captain America isn't?
Truth, justice, and the American way. That's pretty much what all superheroes stood for when they were made.
And you're just barely getting into Wonder Woman 6 minutes in.
It really shows how much you had to talk about.
Yeah.
This is a great waste of time.
Yeah.
You should have called this movie.
You
should have called this video something else.
Yeah.
Bad is bad. There.
Also, Wonder Woman appeared in a grand total of 2 movies at this
point. The film
point.
never pulls the rug out from under her. The cinematography and music does everything it can to make sure you are 100% behind her. The point of all my videos is ultimately...
And that doesn't happen in Winter Soldier. There is no point in which the movie pulls the rug out from Steve Rogers. And he is Diana's moral equivalent, or moral, peer, I think.
Hell, I would go as far to say that the first Wonder Woman movie, let's discount 84 because who's seen it? The first Wonder Woman movie was basically having tons and tons and tons of Captain America, the first Avenger in it. That's why it had to get kicked to the First World War, not the second, because Cap claimed the second one.
I have an issue with just right here. He's got some very selective scenes he's picked. There is comedy in the first Wonder Woman. It's her whole deal of walking around the England.
Yeah.
Well,
he gets the ice cream and he goes, "This is very good. You should be very proud of yourself."
I think that what he's talking about is basically that the drama is reserved for later moments, and there's no jokey joke oak stuff in the last bit of the movie. It's mostly drama.
Well, how does he get around that Ares fight? Everybody hated that fight.
Yeah, because it's a CGI mess.
Yeah, and that's also because DC is not Marvel, and they were trying to make themselves something else.
And Eric completely removed the entire point of Wonder Woman's character arc.
Yeah, pretty much.
For you and I to become better writers by studying the successes and missteps of other stories. To that end, the most important exercise a writer can do is to absorb a story while being emotionally self-aware. By that I mean, don't just watch a movie or pick apart the plot holes of the story, but continue...
You're watching movies wrong.
Oh my god,
it's like you're watching
movies wrong.
Wait a second. Did he say, is he saying this is how to be a better writer? Don't pick apart plot holes?
Yes.
When you are writing, you should take note of anything that doesn't work in your story.
Yes. We know that. But it sounds to me as if Just Right does not.
Could we back this up to the start of this thing about self-awareness, where you started mentioning that?
exercise a writer can do is to absorb a story while being emotionally self-aware. By that I mean, don't just watch a movie or pick apart the plot holes of the story, but continually ask yourself in every scene, how is this making me feel? And why is it making me feel?
How does it make you feel?
When you can do this.
No! No! That's not what you want
You are
to
super
do when
slow
you're
on
trying
that
to be
one.
a better writer. That's not
Well-
what you do when you're trying to be a writer.
I was super slow, but it was like it makes sense. But like, I think this is the right pause point because it's like, how does it make you feel? And he's unironically saying, the plot holes don't matter. Ask how it makes you feel. Okay.
No, I'm still getting around that. What the entire conceit, and I do mean conceit, is of this logical train of thought, because he's talking about how to be a better writer, and then he's talking about how you should watch movies. That's how to be a better consumer of media. Because when you consume media and you produce media, those are different things.
Yes. When you are a writer, you need to focus on the technical stuff, which means plot holes, you asshole.
No. You see, it's not the writer's fault the story is awful. It's the reader. They're too stupid to understand.
Our readers are not stupid.
Yes, they are. That's why I'm the writer and they're the reader. Because they're dumb. I have to enlighten the stupid little insignificant masses by my book.
You know, that's sounding a lot like Mad Hatter right now.
Well, I've gotten to a total of 10 books out on Amazon. Please buy those.
No, you messed up. You forgot to say fuck capitalism.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love capitalism. Capitalism is great.
It is.
I get to do magic for a living.
You're the top 10 You're the top 10 governments that succeeded with communism.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
How does it make? It just yells, "Dang it!" I love how you just yell out, "Dang it!" Emotionally self-aware. No, you should.
No.
Yeah, emotionally self-aware. Okay. Okay. When you are writing, you are constructing it from the point of view of, how do I want the audience to feel? Have I done the necessary legwork for them to revisit this and feel the same way over and over again? That is the question you should feel, and you do that by having a plot that makes sense.
Your plot should make
holes are very important, because if you have them, then they are not going to read your book over and over again.
Or they're just going to stop because they got whiplash trying to keep track of what you're going to change next.
It's one of the reasons why a lot of people love Brandon Sanderson and why people love Robert Jordan. And people reread and read those enormous books over and over again. Because
Lord of the Rings is another one that a lot of people revisit a lot. It's not for me. But I know that the other people in this house do like it, and they revisit it a lot.
I think that Lord of the Rings suffers from the prose of its time quite a bit. I think that is the major thing that keeps Lord of the Rings from being more than kind of scholarly or / niche, as opposed to wide appeal like George R. R. Martin or Brandon Sanderson or Robert Jordan.
No, but that Lord of the Rings. That Lord of the Rings fantasy would have been as big as a genre as it is now.
Oh crap, I didn't realize how long his Last Jedi video is. It's 12 minutes. It's 3 minutes longer than this.
Ouch.
Yeah.
It's probably a bunch of crap and nonsense.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna.
Of course it is.
I'm probably just going to. Well, shall we conclude this after we finish this video and just call it a short stream, or shall we do the next video?
Depends on how much time you got.
Yeah, it depends.
Well, I kind of want to get on Smudcast, kind of just because I missed the last couple of streams on the Mary Sue video. You assume that I'm stupid enough to put my politics into my books.
Yeah.
I put my intellectual enemies in my books, but I don't discredit their politics.
That would imply your enemies are smart.
I'm the exact opposite. I discredit their politics, but I don't discredit them.
I just brutally kill them. Like, maybe I'll read one of the point where I mutilate just Alex Shaw to death in that book.
Why?
Because it's cathartic, and after we suffered through his Last Jedi podcast, we need some kind of catharsis.
Yes.
We're basically first you start with his legs, chop it off inch by inch, then you cauterize the wound to make sure he doesn't die, then you move to the arms.
You're going too fast there. You need to start even slower. You have to first go with the toes. You need to start ripping up the nails.
Stop it.
What? If you're going to have to do torture, you gotta do it right.
Whoa!
Stop.
You were asked to stop.
I can mute you at any time. I am the god of this stream.
Yeah, let's finish this video.
Yeah.
Your radar for insincerity becomes infallible, and you're able to see through the kinds of manipulations many films attempt to pull. I challenge you to do this while you're watching Wonder Woman, and I think you'll find that every scene builds up to a singular emotion that is real, not pantomimed, and that nothing in the scene invalidates any...
It's acting. It's all pantomime.
Oh, good lord! He is basically telling us to turn our brains off, and we will be better at finding the manipulation. No,
we will be better at writing if we turn off our brains while we watch things. This is dick to do with writing.
This is basically just examining what you feel during a movie. It's like, okay, yeah, because just writing...
examining what we feel during a movie is not going to help us write better.
Yeah. Just Right is in the same crowd as frickin' Movie Bob, frickin' Alex Shaw, frickin' Patrick Willems, frickin' Maggie Mae Fish, frickin' Film Joy, and all of the rest of those losers.
Not to mention all the bread tubers. Oh god, I hate them.
Yeah, take them all, put them in a room, lock the door, and somebody send a note under the door reading MCU, and then wait till they all kill each other.
Yeah.
Just right.
What you want to do to become a better writer is to analyze what they did to make you feel that way.
He is saying that, but he's saying it in a dumb way, technically.
It's like the way I see it. If you want to, this is kind of a spoiler for what I'm going to talk about if we ever get around to that tropes we like and tropes we hate stream. Is that you need to watch media in order to figure out where your biases lie. Once you can find out where your biases lie, you can be more aware of them as you write.
Yep.
At least that's one of my takes. There's a few things you can get out of watching other works and reading other works.
Yeah, you might see an idea. Ooh, I like this, but I'd like to kind of do it differently. That's kind of my style, rather than just this guy's style.
And it's like, for me, it's like, I hate time travel. Why do I hate time travel? Because I value consistency in a narrative, and I value stakes. Therefore, that's the things that I'm good at, and that's the thing I should focus on in my writing.
Also, another problem with time travel, is basically you could feasibly undo a lot of things with time travel.
Yep.
Yeah, like I was talking about with stakes.
It's all giant butterfly
that comes before.
But it was
There's real
just
substance beneath the surface level amusements, and that is what makes the movie more than the sum of its jokes. And it's evidence why movies shouldn't be embarrassed by their own heart. Using bathos can get a laugh, but it doesn't just destroy the meaning in your story. It destroys the idea that stories can even be meaningful.
What?
What's bathos?
Wait a minute, hold on.
You forgot what bathos was? He defined what bathos was at the very beginning of the video.
It's smart people for comic relief.
Wait, Is Mathos just math?
Bathos.
Really? I thought he
Not
said Mathos.
No, he said Bathos, not Mathos.
It sounded like Mathos on my end.
Weird. Well, either way, let's keep going. But it's basically like, okay, it's Doctor Strange's moment does not destroy the moment previous of the Ancient One, where she dies, and she just gives the line, "It's not about you," and Doctor Strange takes that on board. What is wrong with you? Why are you a liar? Why are you taking things out of context?
Why do you care so much?
And yet, why does this not bug you in The Last Jedi? It seems like you have a hard-on for this. Well, and weirdly enough, his favorite movie's Rocky, and it's just like, never seen it.
Which
I'm
one?
interested in the first Rocky.
Rocky's good.
Yeah.
Not interested.
I never
not
seen
my
it.
thing. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've heard that apparently Creed is pretty good, but yeah.
Creed's got a lot of problems once you start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Meaningful. We need stories to take risks in the emotions that they portray and not second guess themselves with winks to the audience. I mean, do you know how many universally beloved movies there are that have some of the cheesiest scenes you can possibly imagine and succeed precisely because we enjoy
No. Those winks are fan service.
Like The Force Awakens.
For the fans. That's why it's called fan service.
Why do you like The Last Jedi then? This is every single problem, only worse.
By 1,000 times, if not more.
Yep.
Consistency? What's that? I'm just here just right.
Yeah. I hate this man. So
Just
much.
right.
Everyone, everyone, if you hate
easiest
just
things
right,
we
press
can
1.
possibly imagine and succeed precisely because we enjoy the cheese. E.T. ends with a spaceship cutting a rainbow across the sky, and my favorite movie in the world ends with two people screaming "I love you" at each other for 5 minutes straight. Cheesy.
Oh, good God.
Your story is sincere enough, then nothing is cheesy.
Oh my God.
Sincere and cheese aren't even on the same axis.
No.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm tired.
Well, it's because Just Right is a hypocrite at Marathon.
He sounds like a freaking robot.
Don't wonder why. He's about to put me to sleep.
I've not seen Rocky. I have
Neither
no
have I.
interest.
Mostly a combination of apathy and youth.
Yeah, it's like I know roughly what happens. It's basically boxer tries to become better. He fights and fights, but he ends up losing the final fight. But he gets the girl at the end.
Just right. More like just wrong. Oh, I got him. Yeah.
Yeah, Just Right. I'm going to say this.
You get the fuck away from here! So did you like it? Did you like it?
You have consistently done
You
this.
look like a complete fucking idiot!
It does.
Yeah. Just Right.
And just
why?
because you can speak doesn't make you intelligent.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
It truly
Exactly.
does not.
Alrighty. Well,
That was
yeah. We'll do part 2 at some point. Just Right is just hypocritical. Take 2, where we look at his Last Jedi video in comparison.
Yeah.
But this has been a nice short reaction stream, I think, where we kind of just take a look very quickly at why Just Right has a weird hate boner for Bathos in Marvel.
Theoretically.
He doesn't care. Theoretically, he could be pulling this out of his butt just for clicks, and just only talks about the movie that he wanted to talk about for 3 minutes out of a 9-minute video.
Why? Why do you do that?
He could have taken the movies that he was talking about, Wonder Woman and Doctor Strange, or Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, flipped them backwards, and still made about as much sense.
The construction of his videos are so bad, and especially compared to his Hobbit movies, where he's tearing those movies apart, and some of them are justifiable. I would say that a lot of his criticisms are justifiable in terms of the structure.
And yet he apologized for his Hobbit takes because people might not like the movie if they realize plot hole.
Really?
No! The plot hole. If you like the movies, the plot holes won't matter. Because it'll go, this is because your response to them, someone saying, but this is a problem, is that doesn't stop my enjoyment of the movie.
No, but that's not what he says. He says, and I quote, "You are removing a joy from the universe."
Oh, God.
Yeah, watch that debate on Mueller. It's something to behold.
I have seen that debate a long time ago, and ow!
Yeah, anybody, and then he felt so salty, he decided to make a crappy 20-minute video about why objectivity is impossible.
Okay, were these videos that he made before or after the debate with Mueller?
These were before. The debate happened in 2018.
Okay. Because I'm trying to assemble a timeline to see if I can piece together where he's getting his insanity from.
I think that
because it's clear that he sucks. The question is why.
I think that Patrick Willems' semen might have injected him.
Gross.
Plus, you need nuts for that.
Yeah, that's
calling us a dog boy. Stop.
We should have seen that coming from a long way.
Why didn't you fix your Patrick Willems? He's just gonna keep doing this all over the place. Why didn't you have Patrick Willems fixed?
Now the stream's all
You're an
sticky.
irresponsible streamer.
Yeah. he was very nice and civil, yes, but he's still saying dumb things all over the place.
No,
why are people calling him Sage?
Because that's his name, Sage Hayden.
Okay.
Oh, is he the not so great debate guy?
I thought he was comparing him to Bennett or something, which isn't fair to Bennett.
But he says stuff like, you should be more concerned with stuff that is emotionally resonant than intellectually satisfying, as if those two are mutually exclusive.
Or don't
they get their emotionally satisfaction from it being smart.
We writers get emotional satisfaction when we can piece something together logically and make something work.
Tenet is a weird combination of semi-intellectually satisfying, but there's a lot of emotional deadness with the movie.
Yeah, well, I get my satisfaction when I have people go, I saw this coming a mile away because I know then that I set up the foreshadowing correctly.
I think there are moments say, the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones, where you see all of the foreshadowing, both in terms of literary imagery and other things. But
plotting characters? It's like in cases where you know they're plotting something, but you're not quite sure, and then Red Wedding happens, and then it's satisfying.
Well, so what happens is there are moments where you see things happen and they don't fully make sense to you in the moment, or at least that seem random, but then you see, oh, there are connections. Oh wait, there's a connection there. And then the axe drops and then a lot of people die, and it's been set up for the majority of 2 books.
Yeah, that's the satisfaction I feel when people go, oh, this is what you were setting up back over in the first book over in the third one.
Yeah.
That's setting things up properly for payoffs later. You don't necessarily have to put the payoff in the same book or the same episode of a TV show or the end of a movie if you're going to have more than one movie. But you've got to get the payoff. Otherwise, there's a dangling thread. And that thread is going to drive people absolutely crazy.
So, I would have to say something. It's not a matter of I am brave to use my actual name. It's more that my name is already publicly available online. So
basically, you screwed yourself already. So why not?
well, I have to write I have to let people know like my pen name, or at least my books. So why wouldn't I let people know my name? I don't care.
All right, Malachi.
Thank you.
Well, my pen name's going to be T.D. Drake because it's going to stand for Drake the Duelist. Just to be
Yeah, my name. Yeah. Malachi is my name, even though my first name is Brent.
Brent Malachi.
Oh, that's B. Malachi.
Yep.
You know, I'm gonna call you Malachi.
Thank you. That's much better. That's also my dad's name.
I'm just also the last book of the book.
My dad's name is Brent, and like I didn't even know. My parents just never called me Brent. I didn't even know my first name was Brent until I was 8.
I'm in that same boat.
Well, I'm probably going to end up using my actual name, but I'm going to be putting Neph or Champion somewhere so that people know that it's me, because that's my pseudonym. That's my nom de plume. And that's why I use it. I use it everywhere.
No, it was not. It's not an online name. It's my actual name. But yeah, I knew that I was going to use my first name, especially my actual name, because like a bunch of other authors do. Like Brandon Sanderson, that's his actual name. Same with George R. R. Martin. So yeah. But anyway, I think that we will conclude that there. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And now I will have to say...
Holy shit. Okay, we're going.
That guy.